So I was busy with like a school play and exams when the Mario movie came out, so I'm like a month late. I'm the last person in the world to have watched this movie, and at the end of the day, that means that my review is going to have less impact than anybody else's. But, so, I did a community post. I was like, hey guys, I'm going to watch it tomorrow. I even did a YouTube short talking about how I was going to watch it. And then I watched it, and, well, this is how I feel.
Wow! I got a lot of people to disappoint.
Yeah, from what I can tell, Mario fans on Twitter are absolutely ravenous about how some people don't like the movie, like critics and stuff, and, well, I'm something of a critic myself, but I can see what the audience score, I can see why the audience score is so high for this movie. So it's not like something I can't see why people like, but I myself just didn't, you know? And that sucks because the critic and audience scores, honestly, are better than what I expected them to be. I thought the movie was going to be a complete disaster from day one, and the fact that 96% of audiences liked it gave me some hope. And honestly, the fact that critics didn't completely hate it also gave me hope, because I thought, you know, maybe this movie actually is good, but no, I guess it's just really easy to please an audience. And I say this as somebody who has always been a Mario fan. The movie isn't good. The movie isn't good. I mean, everybody else liked it, so maybe you did, but I just did not think it was good at all. The world building makes absolutely no sense, and also, the characters, they just don't feel important at all. Like, I genuinely forgot that Luigi was in this movie until the climax. How do you make a movie called Super Mario Brothers and you make me forget about the existence of one of the titular characters? How do you do that? But in all seriousness, please don't be mad at me for not liking the movie. Not everybody's gonna like what you like, and also I like to think about things analytically, so of course any like plot holes and problems and stuff that didn't make sense in this movie, of course that was gonna bother me. Why wouldn't it? You know? But at the end of the day, I don't think the average person cares about that sort of thing, so only people like me are gonna end up really wanting to watch this video anyway. But hey, what I will say is nice is the fact that it actually did not feel like they were shoving in Mario references all the time. Like, most of the references to Mario and other games actually were not in your face and forced. It was more of just, the world is absurd, but, you know, the world building is still pretty bad in this movie. They just go, hey look, there are blocks that are floating, isn't that wacky? And then they just don't explain it or do anything like that. They just sort of shrug it off and are like, oh well, that's how it is, whatever, don't question it, you know? And that I don't know, that kind of bothers me. In so much of the screen time, this feels wasted. About a third of the movie is, like, in the Kong Kingdom, and, getting back to the Mushroom Kingdom from the Kong Kingdom, and those just, like, the Kongs did nothing to contribute to this movie that anybody else could have done. They served no purpose. I guess they were just there because, hey, people like Donkey Kong, better put him in the movie. And I don't know. It feels forced. But yeah, rather than just talk about random parts of the movie that I did and didn't like, how about I just do a full-on analysis of the movie, like, right now? So, yeah, it opens in Brooklyn, Mario and Luigi, well, actually, it doesn't even open in Brooklyn, actually. Never mind. It opens with Bowser, destroying an ice kingdom and imprisoning the penguins that rule it to get a star that they have. How did the penguins have the star? I don't know. That doesn't matter. What I did notice is the fact that Bowser has the power, with his flamethrower breath, to destroy entire buildings. He will not be this powerful later in the movie. So then it shows Mario and Luigi in Brooklyn, and apparently they have their own plumbing business, which, I mean, that's to be expected. But also, apparently, there's some guy, I guess, bully, who's like, hey guys, you're the stupid Mario Brothers. and you quit my plumbing business to start your own, which does not have any customers at the moment. Ha! And Mario and Luigi they don't like this guy. They act like he's their rival and all. This guy does nothing in the movie. He's literally just there to make fun of Mario and Luigi at the beginning, and they just don't do anything with him. Who knows? Maybe if they make a sequel, they'll do something with him. Maybe he ends up becoming Wario. I don't know. But as it stands, they just have this utterly pointless character because they act like is a big deal, and he even comes back in the climax for a little payoff. Which, I mean, the fact that he does that is nice, but also the fact that they treat it as if he was some big character isn't, because he didn't matter at all in this movie. Whatever. So then Mario and Luigi do get their first customer, but then their dog messes it up for them, as in the customer's dog, I mean, who attacks them. The scene serves no purpose. If it's supposed to characterize the Mario Brothers, well, we didn't need that, because their characters barely matter in the movie. One, as far as Luigi is concerned. But two, Mario already gets characterized with the scene with Spike, so this scene serves no purpose at all. It's literally just filler, and the dog looks like a rejected Secret Life of Pets character, which, yes, I know it's the same studio, but I don't know, I feel like they should have made them look different. I guess this is as good a time as any as well to talk about the voice acting. The characters don't sound like the Mario characters. I mean, it's not that much of a problem. They still sound like cartoony and stuff, so that's fine. Jack Black, Charlie Day, and Keegan-Michael Key, who are Toad, Luigi, and Bowser, although in the reverse order I just said the voice actors' names to the characters' names. They actually work. Chris Pratt, I feel, was underwhelming as Mario. He didn't sound like Mario at all. Although, in the context of the movie, his voice works, but once again, it's not the Mario I'm used to, not my Mario. And to those of you who say, oh, well, it would have been annoying to listen to the normal Mario voice, Charles Martinet's Mario voice, for an entire movie. This is the studio that made Despicable Me. I don't think anybody's going to deny the fact that Gru sounds annoying, and yet Despicable Me is still a great movie. Even though it's the only great movie Illumination has made, but that's beside the point. You know what I'm trying to say. If any studio was going to make Charles Martinet's voice of the Mario characters work, it was going to be this one. So then we see the family of Mario and Luigi, and it turns out nobody in the family respects them. This is going to end up being treated like a big character moment when really the family has absolutely nothing to do with the rest of the movie. They're literally just there. But I guess, oh, Mario and Luigi are insecure about this, even though it's not at all related to anything else in the movie. So, yeah, why? Why? What was the point of that? It's stupid. Why? So now there's a water leak in Brooklyn. Mario and Luigi go to fix it. They fail to fix it, and this water leak is never brought up again. But they are now underground, and Luigi accidentally gets sucked into a pipe. Mario enters the pipe a few seconds later, and then the two are actually really close to each other once they're both already in the pipe, which doesn't make any sense, but okay. And no point in the movie is the fact that there's a pipe underground that, if you walk into it, sucks you up and teleports you to another universe. That's never explained. Nobody ever even questions why it's there. It just is, and it's never explained. Why is that there? Why is it there? I want to know. Is it because the film writers just wanted there to be a pipe to another dimension? Well, yes, but like, from a world-building perspective, why would that be there? It's so stupid. Did they just not want us to think about that ever? So, there's a place in between dimensions where they're in the pipes, and it's just wind rather than an actual pipe in this area. So Luigi ends up, I guess, Thor Ragnaroking himself out and into a different pipe, which leads to the Koopa Kingdom. And Mario ends up landing in the Mushroom Kingdom. Why does this pipe have two possible exits in case a person ends up spinning out of it? The plot. So when Mario awakes in the Mushroom Kingdom, he meets Toad, who then proceeds to show him around the place, and actually that scene isn't bad. It's actually kind of charming, if I do say so myself, with all like the little details and the Toads walking around doing their daily Toad things. Yeah, I actually like that part. But then, so Luigi gets surrounded by a bunch of dry bones in a scene that lasts unnecessarily long. He gets captured by Shy Guys, who happen to be there as well. And also, that's where that scene ends. So then, Mario meets the princess because Toad distracted the security guards. And the Toads, they're discussing, hey, dude, Bowser's coming, he's got the star now, he can easily destroy us if he wants to. So, then Peach sees Mario and says, hey, you're a human. And honestly, I thought that was going to be them addressing whether or not the princess of the Mushroom Kingdom is appointed by just being a toad who uses a super crown. That was like a game theory video. They did not actually explain it. They just say, oh, Peach doesn't know where she's from. And that's it. So then, they say that they're going to go to the Kong Kingdom, which is a kingdom inhabited by apes and monkeys. You know, Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong, Funky Kong, all the other Kongs. Even though Diddy, Cranky, and Donkey are the only three that matter. But so, then Peach trains Mario on an obstacle course, like a training thing, and this is not important, actually. Like, it's supposed to be a big moment. Oh, Mario's training, he can fight people, but like, he only ever does it. Well, he barely does it in the movie. So there is a scene where he and Donkey Kong fight people, and that's it. And then the other two instances where he has to deal with anything related to the threats that he trained to defeat in the obstacle course, one, he has a power-up and is just flying in one of those situations. And in the other situation, he's using the star. So it didn't even matter. So this whole section about the training Mario only matters for the sake of one sequence that lasts like a minute, and that's it. Great to know that our screen time is going to things that are important, you know, like that, and not the characters, how fleshed out they are, the world building, making sure everything makes sense. Nope, we're focusing on making sure that there's like a 60-second clip of Mario and Donkey Kong fighting enemies. I mean, they're fighting together in that clip. You know, we need to make sure that's what makes sense, rather than making sure that the audience actually cares about the characters. This is also the part of the movie where Peach explains to Mario how power-ups work. You might want to remember that. The fact that Peach had to explain power-ups to Mario, because he doesn't know how they work. The movie doesn't need to explain how they work from like a scientific point of view, so the fact that they don't do that is okay. But also, remember as well the fact that Mario was not good at using the power-ups immediately. That is something... Sorry, that is something that you also want to remember. The scene also starts a problem with the movie, and I'll just summarize it with this. What are those?
I don't know. I thought they looked kind of dashing.
You've got 38 years of Mario music to use in your movie so that the fans can listen to the music they want in the movie fittingly. And you are using licensed music!
Thirsty?
Yeah, I don't like that they use licensed music in this movie. Now, you might ask why I specifically am complaining about this when I like stuff like Regular Show, Megamind, and all of the Shrek movies, with the exception of Shrek the Third. The thing is, those actually use them to not only to their advantage, but also they're not adaptations of things that already have music in them. So, if they want to use licensed music, that works. It's not like they're wasting the opportunity to use music from another part of the series. But the Mario movie decides to use licensed music anyway, despite the fact that Mario is loaded with music that is iconic and everybody likes. And I think that that's a poor choice. Why did you blow the budget on this? Why wouldn't you just use music that you don't have to get a license on? I don't know. But anyway, when Luigi's getting captured, he has a flashback to Mario standing up for him while they're both babies, which is utterly pointless because Mario already stands up for Luigi when the rival guy, whose name is Spike, if I didn't mention it already, when that guy is making fun of them. So, that scene is utterly pointless. So Mario, Peach, and Toad go to the Kong Kingdom to get the Kong Army's help to fight Bowser. Now, they don't go to the Kong Kingdom immediately. They go in a pipe, which takes them to a walking distance to the Kong Kingdom. Remember this, because they will not remember, the people who are writing the movie did not remember that. So, they go to the Kong Kingdom. Cranky Kong says, "Hey, I'll give you my army if you can fight my son Donkey Kong and win." So I guess Donkey Kong Jr. just was wiped from existence in this timeline. But, so then Mario gets his ass destroyed by Donkey Kong throughout the fight, but then he gains a cat power-up and somehow is immediately good at using it, despite the fact that he was not immediately good at using the Super Mushroom and will not be good at immediately using the raccoon suit. After the fight, they show Mario and Peach talking. Mario doesn't have the cat suit anymore, which is funny to me because that implies that after the fight, I guess Peach slapped him or something, and that's how he got out of the suit. Like, just, hey, do you want to not be in that costume anymore? Yeah, slap. But, then, so, I guess Mario and Donkey Kong are treated as rivals now. I mean, they won't be treated as rivals for very long in the movie, because they'll end up becoming friends in, like, one scene. But, so then they all say, "Oh, by the way, in order to get to the Mushroom Kingdom before Bowser does, we're going to have to use a shortcut." And then they go on Rainbow Road using Mario Karts. That's not a shortcut, dude. We literally saw that there was a pipe in the Mushroom Kingdom that led a walking distance away from the Kong Kingdom. Why wouldn't you use that pipe? I mean, is it going to be because you have an army? Because I don't know about you, but later in the movie, they literally show that a giant ballistic missile is able to fit into the pipe somehow. It's stupid. It's just them forcing a way to be able to go, "Hey guys, it's a Mario Kart reference." And even then, Rainbow Road doesn't help them at all because Bowser is somehow able to catch up with them and send a bunch of Koopas on race cars on Rainbow Road, because I guess in the Mario universe, in the Mario multiverse, I guess, you can just materialize carts out of pretty much nowhere, even though it showed when Mario, Peach, and Toad get their carts that they literally needed engineers to make them, but okay. But, oh yeah, I guess, well, actually, let me continue talking about Rainbow Road first before I transition into the next part. But, so, also, the road gets broken. If the road is so easy to break that a simple explosion, while you guys are throwing stuff at each other and your enemies, why would you use that as a shortcut? Because when the road breaks, everybody behind Mario and Donkey Kong, because their cart is the one that explodes, everybody behind them is just trapped on the road for Bowser to capture. So why would you use that shortcut instead of just using the pipe? It doesn't, still, why? It doesn't make any sense. So I should actually talk about Bowser and Luigi because I forgot to talk about them. I mean, that should tell you how memorable their very few scenes are in this movie. And even then, Bowser and Luigi only get one scene together. Well, actually 2 scenes, but in the second one, it's not between Luigi and Bowser specifically, it's between everyone and Bowser. But so Bowser interrogates Luigi and is like, hey, that Mario guy, well, I mean, he doesn't know who Mario is. Luigi tells him who Mario is because Bowser's interrogating him. And he says, hey, is the princess gonna be more interested in this Mario guy than me? And Luigi says, if she has good taste. Why would... Luigi, you idiot, why would you not just say no? Or, we've never met a princess before. Why, we have no reason to expect that he would be, have the princess be interested in him. I don't know. That's it. That's the only scene we get between Bowser and Luigi. After that, Luigi's just in the dungeon for the rest of the movie. But, then it's shown that Bowser's plan is to use the star to threaten the Mushroom Kingdom, being like, hey, I'm gonna use this star to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom unless, Peach, you marry me because I like you. And so, that's not bad, actually, because, you know, that's how it is in the Mario games anyway. He also tortures a Koopa who questions what if she says no, which is also where he says, I'm gonna destroy the Mushroom Kingdom if she says no. But when he does that, I mean, that is actually a pretty good joke, because the Koopa ends up becoming a dry bone, is my only issue. This isn't a big problem, by the way, I'm just bringing it up because I noticed it. But his body proportions completely change when he becomes a dry bones. Like, his arm becomes shorter, his face becomes wider, his shell becomes wider, and he gains gloves. I don't think anybody really cares about that, but I just noticed it. And I didn't even notice it watching the movie, I just noticed it because before watching the movie, that clip ended up going viral on Twitter, and I saw it. And I thought, wow, that guy's body proportions completely changed right there. It's not an important issue or anything. I just noticed it and thought it was funny. There's also a part where Bowser plays the piano and sings about, quote-unquote, how much he loves peaches. Referring to Peach, obviously, but I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I know Jack Black likes music, and he voices Bowser in this movie, so that's almost certainly why it's in there. But I just bring this up because I think it's funny in the case that at a certain point when he says peaches, I love peaches, it genuinely sounds like he's saying bitches, I love bitches, and I thought that was funny. But also, it's a scene that doesn't matter, because it's just about how Bowser is insecure and doesn't want Mario to take Peach, but that's something we already know about because he interrogated Luigi, so what's the point? What's the point of the scene? Anyway, so what happens is, after part of Rainbow Road blows up, Mario and Donkey Kong fall into the ocean, they get eaten by a giant eel, and the Kong army gets captured by Bowser. Oh no, what are they gonna do? Mario and Donkey Kong are like, neither of our dads respect us, how sad. And now they're not rivals anymore, even though they met, like, 10 minutes ago. Okay, sure, why not? I don't know, it's stupid. And then they use a car engine off of a broken cart, and they use it as the barrel rocket from the Donkey Kong Country games, which, I mean, kinda cool as a reference, but once again, that just feels like an easy way to write yourself out of the situation you put characters in. For what? For what purpose? So that they aren't rivals anymore? So that Bowser can talk to Peach in the next scene? Even though he would have been able to do it anyway if Mario was there, so what's the point? Maybe it's, I guess, actually, now that I mention it, the point is so that Mario and Donkey Kong are separated from the Mushroom Kingdom, therefore Bowser doesn't immediately put them in the dungeon, I guess. But the reason why Toad isn't put in the dungeon is because Peach literally says, don't hurt my toads, and I'll marry you. So, she could have just said, don't hurt Mario either, and we would have essentially gotten the same result. So, I guess I talked myself into thinking a scene wasn't pointless, and then I talked myself back into thinking it was pointless while I was recording this, so I guess that's kind of funny. They have a friendly rivalry anyway afterwards. They're teasing each other as they fight enemies, so I mean, I guess it makes it a healthier rivalry, but whatever. They could have just not bothered with the rivalry anyway. But so yeah, okay, I did just mention that Peach said, Bowser, I'll marry you if you don't hurt the Toads. Yeah, so Bowser showed up and was like, yeah, I'm gonna destroy the Mushroom Kingdom if you don't marry me. And then, you know, that happened. That exchange happened. So, there's a wedding now, and so, also, all of the Kongs that they captured were put in the dungeon. And then immediately after they were put in the dungeon, Kamek appears in the dungeon and says, oh, hey, by the way, we're gonna sacrifice all of you at the wedding. And it's such a forced way to make sure that they're there for the characters to rescue. It's so shoehorned in. At no point in the movie before this was a sacrifice mentioned. We never see any, I guess, religious practices of any of the Koopas, so we had no reason to even think that they would do something like this. It's just forced and stupid, and I think that that's really dumb. So Toad gives Peach a bouquet before the wedding, and, like, sorry? Why wouldn't any security measures be taken to prevent something like this from happening? I mean, he literally smuggles in an ice flower for Peach here. And while it isn't revealed yet, that my immediate thought was, okay, there's 100% a fire flower hidden in that bouquet. It wasn't a fire flower, but you know. The writers did exactly what I thought they were going to do. And seriously, why wouldn't there be any security measures taken to make sure this couldn't happen for Peach to, I guess, crash the wedding with? I don't know. It's stupid. It's stupid. They really wanted an action scene. And so Peach uses the ice flower during the wedding and freezes Bowser. During this, Mario and Donkey Kong break into the wedding after riding in on the rocket barrel, and they save everybody from being sacrificed by having the dungeon cages taken to the wedding and then lowered into lava. They save everybody, but, so yeah, Mario saves Luigi, he gets the Tanuki tail, starts flying with it without knowing that that's a thing you can do, and then, I guess, they have Donkey Kong rescue his dad, and Donkey Kong's dad, Cranky Kong, is like, oh, by the way, I don't think you're a joke anymore, and then Donkey Kong's like, okay, cool, and so I guess that whole parental thing for Donkey Kong is over. It's not over for Mario yet either, but once again, it doesn't really matter for either of them because their parents are barely in the movie. And so then Bowser's like, he gets out of the ice that Peach throws him in. By the way, King Boo is at this wedding, and King Boo is really powerful. Why didn't he do anything? They kill King the Bomb as well. They explode him. But, oh well. Seriously, why didn't King Boo do anything? Am I the only person who remembers that in Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, he almost destroyed the entire universe? Am I the only person who remembers that? They also use his Mario Party design, which, I mean, I prefer his Luigi's Mansion design. Ultimately, it doesn't matter which one they use. It's just, I prefer the Luigi's Mansion design for him. I think it looks a lot cooler. But, oh well. So Bowser shoots a giant bonsai bill at the Mushroom Kingdom, saying it'll destroy the entire kingdom, you know, because he's mad that the wedding was crashed. He broke out of the ice right away, and nobody did anything to stop him from doing that. But, so he then, Mario, using the Tanuki suit, raccoon suit, as referred to in the movie, I'm just used to calling it the Tanuki suit, because that's what it's called in the game. But, so Mario using that, he flies around, he smacks the giant bonsai bill in the eye, which for some reason, gets it to start chasing him. Like, dude, Bowser, that's a giant ballistic missile. You had to have actively designed it so that somebody could hit it and distract it from its target. But, anyway, then the Bonsai Bill is following Mario, which also is stupid when you consider the fact that if it's powerful enough to destroy the entire Mushroom Kingdom, why would it not just, you know, hit the ground and explode immediately, which would kill Mario anyway if it's like a nuclear-sized explosion? Like, why wouldn't it just do that? Whatever. So the Bonsai Bill follows Mario. Mario sees the pipe that he went into earlier in the movie and leads the Bonsai Bill to the pipe. Somehow the Bonsai Bill fits in the pipe, which, I mean, if that's the case, I mentioned this earlier, but if anything can fit into a pipe, why didn't the Kong army just go through the pipe that was close to the that was in the Mushroom Kingdom and was close to the Kong Kingdom? Why didn't they just do that? I don't know. I guess the writers just forgot about it. But then, so he puts the Bonsai Bill in the pipe. It fits through, which, by the way, once again, Mario should have no way of knowing that it would fit through the pipe. And lucky for Mario, the Bonsai Bill explodes when it's in the place between dimensions, rather than in New York. Because, you know, he would have sent the Bonsai Bill to New York and blown up New York if it didn't happen to explode in between pipes. How come both Super Mario Bros. Movies made me think of 9/11? I don't know, but I guess that's a thing that happened, and I can't ignore it. So the explosion from the Bullet Bill somehow sucks everybody, all the main characters from the Mushroom Kingdom into Brooklyn. How come nobody from Brooklyn ended up getting sucked into the pipe? Despite the fact that the explosion is nuclear? I don't know if the explosion was able to pull anybody in anyway, which it did. But, so anyway, now everybody's in Brooklyn, so Mario's parents, Mario and Luigi's parents, they see them there, and they're like, oh look, it's Mario and Luigi. But so, the star that Bowser had is also in Brooklyn with them. And then Mario and Luigi, well, Mario's trying to get to the star, and then Bowser starts, you know, flamethrowering at him, which makes sense. But Luigi holds a manhole cover as a shield, which stops the fire. Even though we literally saw at the beginning of the movie, in literally the first scene, we saw that Bowser's fire can destroy entire buildings, and yet it can't get past a manhole cover? Really? Okay. So then Mario and Luigi get the star. Luigi should not have even known how power-ups work. We never see anybody explain that to him. Honestly, why would anybody? If Bowser and Kamek explained it to him, that would be counterintuitive. Which means that the only way it would have worked is if somehow it came up in conversation with everybody in the dungeon, and I guess just it was off screen. I mean, it's technically not a plot hole, but really? How contrived? Especially if you're not going to show it to us. Yeah, Mario and Luigi use the star, they beat up Bowser. After the star runs out, everybody's standing in front of Bowser, and he doesn't flamethrower them. And then Peach force feeds Bowser a mini mushroom, and they put him in a jar. Yikes. But, so, you might have noticed, with me explaining all of this, the Kongs served literally no purpose in this movie at all. Why were they here? I don't know. It's stupid. That's the plot synopsis. It ends with Mario and Luigi living in the Mushroom Kingdom now. But, yeah, nothing made sense, and none of the characters... I felt no connection to any of the characters. They really did not do a good job making you care about them at all. It's not a good movie. it's not a good movie. I wanted it to be a good movie, but it wasn't, and I wasn't expecting it to be a good movie anyway. But after seeing everybody's scores, I thought it probably is good. Just, you know, like a 7 out of 10. But no, it's pretty bad. Anyway, good night, everybody.